Hello guys, warm welcome to one and all, and this is Anil, and today we're going to talk about one of the important and very important concept in real world application development, that we basically discuss about one of the important concept which will also use for your academics, that is web technologies. Okay, so the moment someone talk about web technology, what is the meaning of this, and what actually you can do with a web technology? Why you have to learn the web technology? These are the all different kind of questions which everyone will have. If I learn this web technology, what is the what I can learn, at the same time what I can achieve? These are the different questions which everyone have. For all these kind of questions, today I'm going to give you answer for you. The first answer is, what is web technology? What is a web application? And how these web applications will be used into the different parts of the application. Before I'm going to talk about this, first we talk about what is an application first, and also we need to talk about what are the different various applications which is presented in the market, and what is the importance of web applications also. Okay, so if I talk about an application, what is the mean of application? Hope everyone using an applications in your smartphones, right? Correct? So everyone will have a smartphone and everyone using an applications in that. But what is the meaning of application? What it actually contains internally, right? So if you talk about a question called application, it's pretty simple answer. It's pretty simple answer. Application is a set of programs. What I mean to say is, it's a set of programs which is collected together, which contains one respective work or one respective task. Okay, for example, let's see, there are the different various apps in the world. Let's say you can have an apps called WhatsApp, you can have WhatsApp, Facebook, or different apps. Okay, but every app which have an individual task. Is it correct? Every app will do the different tasks. Internally, every app is also contain a different properties, different programs, I can say. For example, let's say I have a program called registration, right? I have a program called login. I have a program called SumX, right? So as a developer, what you need to remember, what you have to target here is, if you write a logic for registration, will that registration logic will work for login? Absolutely not, because the logic of registration is totally different from logic of login page. So what I need to do is, I need to write separate program for registration, and also I need to write a separate program for login, so that what I can able to see an application which is collected together. Nothing but application is a term which contains a number of programs in this. Sometime maybe 100, maybe 1000. You may call 10,000 also, because depends on the requirement. The program strength is get increases. The program count is get increases. But few people have a question. What I have got clear idea about application. What is the meaning of it? But I don't know what is the meaning of program here. For you, my answer is, okay, a program is a computer set of instructions, a set of computerized instructions which can be passed to a computer, and computer will be communicated with that program. Mean to say that, for example, instruction, a set of instruction, because why I am trying to write a program here, or that is also one of the very important question, right? A program, why you need to write here? It's pretty simple answer, because you cannot directly communicate with a computer, because the language of computer is totally different of you, because you as a user you will use a natural languages. As a computer knows only binary language. It means to say that zeros and ones. Correct? Is it correct? So that's the reason when you talk about application, when you talk about programming language, is a programming language is intermediate between you and a computer. You can task your computer how many ways you want. So that's the reason what is actually the program does contains. The program does contain a set of instructions or set of lines of code which communicate with your processor, which communicate with your compiler, whatever you can name it. That is what actually the program is. Correct? So I just want to conclude here with the two terms right now. One is a program. What is this program is all about? Program is set of instructions which will contains maybe 100 lines sometime, maybe 10,000 lines also, depends on the requirement. Length of a program is get increases, depends on that. That is one program. If you collect this kind of programs, if you collect all this kind of programs, if you put all together at one particular place, then you can call it as that one is an application. Am I very clear now? So these are the meaning of application. And what are the what are the different types of applications are presented in the world? Correct? What are the different applications are, and how these web applications which have a more importance, because as we are learning about only web technologies is all about web applications, correct? So what is the basic thing which you have to know about the advantages of web applications, right? So the first thing is, what I want to show you is applications. Applications can be categorized into three different ways, or applications can be able to categorized into three parts. The first one is a desktop applications, and second one is a web applications, and the third one is mobile applications. I'm repeating once again, what are the three different various applications we have in the market? The first applications are web applications, and followed by desktop applications, and followed by mobile application. Okay, if you just see the screen, so you will understand what are the ways of applications you have here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I just want to increase some font size, or okay, so first we talk about application. What is the meaning of application? It's set of programs. And what are the various applications we have in the market? The first one is desktop applications, second one is web applications, and third one is mobile applications. Okay, so there are the three various applications we have in the market. I mean to say that there are the different people which you are using in the current world. So that I am categorized into three parts right now, that is Windows, or I can call it as desktop, or also call it as web, or the third one is mobile application. Hope everyone knows about this. There is no much discussions on this, because current generation without have a live of any smartphone, correct? So nothing but you can't live without a smartphone, right? So that hope everyone knows about mobile application, hope everyone knows about social networking apps on your mobile. So but majorly my concentration on these two right now. So the concentration, the first one is desktop applications, and how this desktop applications are different from web application. Alright, so let's we get starts with a simple discussion first on desktop applications, then we'll move to the discussions of web. Alright, so let's first I'm going to talk about some kind of okay, let's see, I just want to talk about desktop applications here right now. So where you can use these applications, okay, right. So if you want any particular definition for this, okay, this applications of desktop can be installed only on single computer or single machine. Alright, right. There are a few cases this application is also installed a group of machines also, that I'll discuss right now. Alright, so but the basic definition for web application is it's set of instructions, set of programs that can be installed only on single computer, or it also can be installed only sometime group of computers. Alright, so what are the best example applications for desktop is? Okay, so desktop applications best examples are let's say Notepad, right? So you may use Microsoft different Office files, right? All right. So you may use a different things, okay, which is installed on your devices, on your single computer. Whatever you have, all this comes under a desktop application. Why? Why we need to call these applications as a desktop application? It is pretty simple. If you want to install any application on another machine, or if you want to install this on another machine, all right, compulsory you supposed to have that exe file should be installed on another device also. Okay. For example, what I mean to tell you is, for example, I have one machine. Okay, let's say this is my computer. All right, this is one computer. Let's say another computer. This is first one is my friend's computer and second one is my computer. Okay, right. So my friend have one video file. Okay, let's say probably one movie file, and I want that same file here. Okay, so I want the same movie file supposed to be in my machine also. Okay, so in that case, what I supposed to do is I supposed to copy that into some external drive, and I supposed to paste it into my second machine. Correct? So, but by default, what will happen is, by default, this machine have that video file with some default media player as, let's say, probably VLC. Hope everyone knows about VLC, right? His default media player is VLC. But in my computer, I don't have that VLC player. In my computer, I don't have that VLC player. So what I need to do is, once if I copy that video file into my machine, my machine, it's pretty simple. I cannot open directly with VLC player. Compulsory, I have to use some external third party, or I have to use another media player to open this file into my machine. Because of what? The application which is installed on this machine is not gonna directly install on this machine, unless or until if this user is also installed that exe file. This kind of category or this kind of application all comes under desktop applications. Am I very clear now? All right. So let me conclude about desktop applications here. The applications of desktop which can install only on single computer or single machine. Sometimes this desktop application is also installed on group of computers or group of machines. What is the best example for a group of machine? Correct? So if you talk about a group of computers which can be accessed only one application, that is the best example what I can suggest you all guys is, it is pretty simple example. You can say supermarket example is the best example for that. How you can call that supermarket application is a desktop application? All right, it's pretty simple. If you go supermarket, on a billing machines, there are the 10 to 15 billing machines will be connected together at one single computer. Very clear? All this 15 computer, all these 10 computers which will be connected to a single computer, which is centralized computer, right? But all these 10 machines which can be used or which will use only one application on that application is interact with the main computer all the time. Correct? So this kind of application we can call it as, also we can call it as desktop applications. Let me again show you the one more example of this. All right, let's show the screen once again. So I go for one more simple thing. All right, so in this right now I'm going to show you how a group of computer can be connected to a single interlink connector. All right, so this is your first machine of your supermarket. All right, this is your second machine of your supermarket. All right, this is your third machine of your supermarket. Like this, all the 10 to 15 different computers. Let's say that there are 15-20 computers are connected together or in a single network, right? Correct? So let's see, probably I just have only four computers are connected together with a single another computer here. Let's say probably this is my another computer. Alright, so let's see, this is all these computers are basically interconnected with me right now, and all these computers are directly connected to one more machine which is there in the same network, that is your main computer, correct? Alright, so what I just want to do is, here some transaction is happened, nothing but some user has buy that product. The moment the user has done a product billing is finished, it automatically affects on my server first time, right? The moment it is affect on my server computer, or it is affected my another computer, this automatically reflected on the second, third and fourth computers, right? But if you want to run this kind of application outside the supermarket, let's say this is your entire supermarket, if you want to try to run this outside the supermarket, you can't able to run this, because that application can be installed only for this network, it cannot be installed outside the network, right? So these are also an examples for desktop applications. Am I very clear now? Let me directly last conclusion about desktop applications right now. So the desktop applications are the applications which can be installed only on single computer. There are a few cases where these desktop applications also installed on a network. It can be installed on network also. I mean to say group of computers that can be installed. The best example is supermarket. What are the advantages of this? If we use this desktop applications, the first advantage is it is more secure, because it's there in only single computer, right? If it is in single computer, by the time you don't have any attacks, so that it will be more secure. And this desktop applications will not require any internet connections. Remember the word, it is not required any internet connection, so that your desktop applications called as intranet applications. Please do remember this word. Desktop applications are called as intranet applications, correct? And the third important thing about desktop application is you cannot use this application on another machine or another network, correct? So that is the few important things which you have to remember about desktop applications, correct? Now let me go to a web application. All right, what actually you can do with a web application, correct? And how this web application utilize your time, it also utilize your efforts, correct? Now for example, if I come to about web applications are the applications which can run throughout the world, it doesn't require any location, it doesn't require any computer. But if you want to run this web application on your any computer device, let's say computer devices like mobile, desktop, laptop, or you can say for probably tablet device, any electronic device, if you want to access any web application, for sure you require internet connection for that. Am I very clear now? So these are the another thing which you have to remember, that is a web application. So I mean to say that web application can be run throughout the world, but it's required internet connection. So that this web application is also called as sometimes internet applications also, because without internet these applications can't run, right? You just believe, you can understand that if you want to use on your desktop, if you want to use any WhatsApp or any Facebook application, compulsory what you required internet connection for that. Without internet connection you can't do anything. Is it correct? So that's the reason, please you need to remember one thing about the web application is this application can be run any part of the world. It doesn't restricted to one location, it doesn't restricted to the one country, right? It can be it can be valid for the different parts of the world, it widely used in the world, right? So but all these web applications, to access compulsory you required internet connection for this, correct? So now let me go to our basic, right now I just want to talk about what I just need to talk about. Let me show the screen once again now. It's day 1 of web app technologies. Today we are basically talk about what is web application first of all. Alright, so let's go to the web applications now, right? So now what is see that web application? A web application, a web app is an application program that is stored on remote server and delivered over the internet through a browser interface account. All right. So now let me read the sentence again, and after that I'll explain you about it. A web application, you can call it as web app, is an application program that can be stored on remote server. I mean to say remote computer, and delivered over internet. Nothing but you required internet connection to this through a browser. I mean to say it required a browser facility on your desktop computer, then you can access the web application to it. Okay. In that case, let me explain you about this first. All right. So what I'm trying to talk about, a web application is required how many computers now? Yeah, exactly. You required 2 computers for this. The computer 1 is this one. There is another computer. This is your computer 2. Correct? Now, these 2 computers is always required internet connection. Right? The first computer called as a server. What is that? First computer name is called as server. The other computer name called as client. Okay? All right. So what is the few people have a lot of people have a doubt on what is the meaning of a server. Most of the people always used to talk about server, right? But we don't know what is the meaning of it. It is pretty simple. A server is a computer as what you are using in your local machine. Correct? Right? For example, you have a desktop. You have a for example, let's say probably you may have a laptop. All right. So what is the meaning of server? I can use a computer in my local machine, right? I can use a computer called maybe a laptop or desktop. What it makes a difference between a server computer and my computer is? Alright, it's pretty simple. Server computer or server is like it's a computer only, but this computer which have a huge configuration. I mean to say that it's required terabytes of memory to store. It's required let's say gigabytes of memory to process the request. Correct? It's required to handle the multiple clients at a time. Right? It's pretty simple, right? How many users can request to Facebook on the current second? Can you count it? No, but your server is responding to all the clients at a time. Depends the way how they interacted. Correct? So nothing but a computer which has to be there on the remote place, that computer has to be capable to give a response to multiple clients at a time. That computer we basically called as a server computer or server machine. This server machine is always required high configuration device or high configuration thing. What I mean to say that you may talk about in any case you may talk about hardware devices, you may talk about softwares that totally different. As like your Windows, as like your laptop, you are using a Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows 8.1, maybe Windows 10. Alright. The same way the server is have a specific set of softwares can be used on that, like Windows Server 2008, let's say Windows Server 2012. Alright. So these are the different kind of server softwares which is not installed on the client softwares. Yes, am I clear now? Now let me go to the screen again. Now what will happen here, right? So what I just want to talk about here is The moment when a client, nothing but as I'm a client, I'm requesting to a specific server, right? I'm requesting a client, as a client I'm requesting to the server. The moment the requesting has been done, then the server has to be capable to accept my request. At the same time, it has to be responded to me, right? Again, a question mark for the different people here, right? Who is the clients here? I confirmed, I just cleared about the term called server and what is the meaning term called a client is, right? Most of the people will tell you that clients, right? The term client comes in the web technology. You need to remember that the term name as users, correct? But you supposed to not to use the word called users or the clients to the any web servers. It's not at all, as it is browsers, right? So browser softwares, as it like browser softwares are there, this softwares which is used to, alright, which is used to take a responsibility of putting a request to the server, right? So for example, browser softwares, you may heard about Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera. There are a lot of browsers over there. These browsers are capable to put a request, nothing but as I'm talking about request, right? This is your request. As you type, what is the meaning of request? The moment when you type www.facebook.com, that is a request to the server, simple as that, right? Right, the moment when you set this, the request goes to the server. Okay, so that's the reason in any networking or any web technology terminology, clients is always a browsers, not the users. Please do remember this word. So not at all users. Most of the people will have a question mark here. You not use a users word. Users are just end users. They can see what is going on the outside of the browser, but it's not internally what is happening in the browser, right? So as it is, when it is comes to response, your server will accept your response request and it generates your response and it send it to your client machines. This is how terminology does happen in this, right? The moment if it is a web application, what will happen is this browser is gonna generate you a simple HTML document. With this response, it just send you back onto the client machine with the response. It directly come to as a response, and the response which will be rendered on your client computer, nothing but on your browser, right? The browser whatever you have installed, in that browser you can able to see the output in that machine. This is how your web application does works. Am I very clear? So now let me conclude about web applications now. All right. So what is a web application? Web application is an application which can be runs any part of the world, which can be accessed through a simple remote server. It can be accessed using internet connection. Without internet connection, you can't able to see this. Correct? So nothing but what is the differences here right now? Desktop as well as web. Desktop is restricted to only one location. Is it correct? Nothing but one particular place, one particular computer you can say. But as if you want to restrict that user, or if you doesn't want to restrict that user, you want to spread this to the different part of the world, then your choice is web application. That is also our agenda. At end of our sessions, we try to build a web application. We try to build a website. Am I very clear now? What I'm trying to suggest you at this part is, at the end of our sessions, we basically try to build a web application through our sessions, right? Now, is it web applications are secure? No, because web application is not secure anytime, but you can provide the security for this, but I'm not sure that it is have 100% security, because anytime a hacker can attack your web application, right? But what I can do as a developer, let's say you are a developer, imagine you are a developer, you are a programmer in the market. So how can I protect my application? It is pretty simple job. As much as security you can give to this, as much as you can security, how much you can provide from your end, that you can security, you can give it to a web application, and so that you can protect your web application for longer time or longer period, right? So that's a major impact of your web application sales. Am I very clear? Alright, so now let's see the screen once again. You understand how this web applications does works. Okay, it's pretty simple. Web applications are usually coded in browser supported languages such as JavaScript, HTML, as these languages rely on the browsers to render the program to execute some set of applications are dynamic. Alright, so as you are very new now, okay, so what is the meaning of this right now words? The meaning words are trying to talk about the words name called JavaScript, the words named called HTML. Am I very clear? So these are sessions, as web application sessions will runs on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, that we will discuss in the next session, because it's required again more introduction about it. So as you start with a basic introduction, when you go for the next, you will have a lot of things to cover in that. Okay, so that's the reason today I just want to stop the session, because if I started, it becomes again pretty lengthy. So the first day you need to know only about what is the meaning of application, what is the meaning of program, what is the meaning of desktop application, and what is the meaning of web application. And also you need to know about what are the differences between a web application and desktop application. Alright, thank you so much. Be a part of this session. We'll see you next session. By the way, I'm Anil Kumar, the trainer of APSSDC.